All right, happy Monday, everybody. I hope that your weekend was great. It was a bit of a soggy weekend at times. We had that shower activity, especially on Sunday morning. But as we made our way into the afternoon there on Sunday, we saw the temperatures only get up into the lower 70s when we had some strong winds bringing in that cooler air. Today, the winds are still fairly strong still, and we have a clear sky overhead with some drier conditions. So let's talk a little bit about what we have in store for Monday here all across the region, looking at across the southeast. You see that we have dry conditions, a lot of sunshine to go around. And you see that as we hit throughout our time lapse from this morning, we did have a few clouds try to pop up here and there, but that's about it. And that's all we're expecting for today. Maybe an isolated cloud here and there, not isolated showers, isolated clouds here and there for the rest of this afternoon. Looking out across the region, you see that up towards Rome, the winds are blowing very strong. We have a lot of blue sky though for them. We have a lot of blue sky also over the King and Queen Towers there toward the north end of the perimeter. Looking off towards downtown, blue sky, and then similar conditions out towards the airport. Those strong winds not slowing down any of the aircraft. No delays right now. 20-mile-per-hour sustained winds, though, in Atlanta. We have 10-mile-per-hour winds in Dalton, 10 in Peachtree City, but still strong down towards LaGrange, where they have 18-mile-per-hour winds. 16 in Athens, 18 in Duluth. Now that's just the sustained winds. Gusts are even higher. We're going to have gusts today, even up towards 20 to 30 miles per hour at times. You see by the time we get to 5 p.m. still fairly strong, but those winds are going to calm down a little bit tonight. They're not going to stay calm though as we hit throughout tomorrow. Tomorrow the winds are going to pick up again by a little bit, not as strong as what we had yesterday, and then tomorrow isn't going to be as strong as what we have today, but those winds are still going to be out of the northwest, which has really stirred everything back up as far as the pollen is concerned. You see that we are back in the high category for tree pollen, with oak, hickory, pine, sycamore, and mulberry being the main contributors. We also have a high amount of grass pollen in the air for today, so we're starting to get grass pollen back into the mix with everything, and then weeds are coming in at a low level. Molds are in at an extremely high level. So if you're dealing with any allergies right now, it's likely going to be from the tree pollen getting stirred back up, and then also possibly some of that grass pollen getting stirred back up. Now this is a high count after we had a low count for the first time back on Friday. That was the first low count actually since February 1st. So for the first time since February 1st, we had a low count back on the board, and it's nice to see that, but we're likely going to see a few more moderate to high counts here as we head throughout the next couple of weeks, especially now that we're going to see these temperatures rebound and also a little bit more in the way of drier conditions and sunshine. Now, as of 2:30 in the afternoon, that's when we like to do these updates every Monday and Thursday at 2:30. We do have temperatures sitting in the mid to upper 60s. If you're watching this at a later date, these temperatures will have changed a little bit, but we're going to be talking about the forecast here in just a moment to let you know what you can have for the rest of the week. As far as the temperatures are concerned, you can see that we did have some temperatures below average there as we headed throughout the last few days. We did go above average there close to the end of last week, but now we've been back below average, and we stay below average on those temperatures again for today as those winds remain out of the north and west. Looking out across the southeast, again, a lot of sunshine out there. Don't forget that whenever we do have rain on the radar, you can track it right there from the 11 Alive app by hitting that Explore Radar map there at the very top. Temperatures right now at 65 degrees. That's the current conditions. You see the hourly forecast showing a lot of sunshine today. If you hit that daily tab, though, you're going to see that we have a chance for rain later on this week. That's what we're about to talk about right now. Before we talk about that, though, I do want to remind you to download the 11 Alive app. You can download it right there to your smartphone device. Send in your weather wow moments, any photos. You can watch the newscast live, which is real valuable whenever we have strong storms, which we don't have this week expected. But whenever we do have strong storms, you can watch the newscast live from your phone. That's great if we ever have power outages in the region and you're worried about still getting that weather information. You can still watch our weather updates right there from your mobile device as long as you have cellular service. You can also download the Roku and Fire TV app. The 11 Alive Plus app is where we like to put out extra news and weather information. Make sure you download that. You can get extra weather updates like the one you're watching right now. Forecast track shows that as we make our way throughout today, temperatures do rise into the upper 60s, lower 70s, and then we head into tonight, those temperatures back down to the 30s and 40s. We'll have a clear sky overhead. Those winds will calm down a little bit, but again, going to pick up a little bit more again for tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures rising into the upper 60s, lower 70s. Forecast track trying to show an isolated shower or two for tomorrow afternoon. I think we stay dry. Mostly sunny sky, maybe partly cloudy at times for the afternoon tomorrow, and then we're going to be mostly clear again for overnight into Wednesday morning. Lows there in the 40s, rising into the 60s and 70s for the afternoon on Wednesday. Now notice where the winds are coming from on Wednesday. Still out of the north and west. We're actually going to keep these winds coming out of the north and west for today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's not until Friday that the winds are going to start to turn a little bit more to the south. When that happens, we get a little more moisture in the end. We get some rain chances to start to pop up again back into the forecast. Notice there for Friday, a slight chance for rain, a few isolated showers possible there for Saturday, and those rain chances, they're not really going to add much to our surplus for the year because we are still at a surplus. We had a good amount of rainfall just yesterday across North Georgia. That was mainly in the morning hours before the wind brought in those cooler and drier conditions for the afternoon. You see we picked up more than an inch of rainfall, 1.15 inches here for the Atlanta area. That put us at a surplus for the month of April. We were falling behind a little bit there, but we caught back up. April 30th also has ended up being our fourth wettest day of the year so far. Of course, a lot of the year to go. Probably going to have some wetter days later on this year. We are at a surplus for the year at more than an inch ahead of where we should be for the year to date. Of course, that means that there's no drought across the region. Looking out towards southern portions of Georgia, we do have abnormally dry conditions down towards Albany. You see down towards Brunswick, they do have some moderate drought, and that stretches down into the Jacksonville area as well. And we're going to likely continue to see those drought conditions stay away from our region thanks to the fact that we're going to get a little more rainfall this next week. But you see, it's not going to amount to much. We're only going to have rain chances on Friday and Saturday of this next week, and even then it's just a slight chance for rain and a few isolated showers. We're talking about mainly a quarter of an inch or less for everybody over the next week. So if you've got maybe some new sod down on the ground, maybe you're trying to get some grass to grow in your yard, you're likely going to have to start using that sprinkler system again. 70 degrees for the high on Tuesday. You see the temperatures getting back to around average this time of year by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Still just a couple degrees below average, but we're pretty much at that point where we're near that 78-degree mark. Now, we've been stuck under a cooler pattern. You can see that we have a big trough of cooler air over the eastern half of the United States. I'm going to kind of reference this here for you. I'm going to draw an arrow on the screen. You see this big circle of blue on your screen. That's that cooler air that's over the eastern half of the United States. Watch as we head throughout this next week, though. We're going to start to see that shift off to the east. And while they're dealing with cooler conditions also off towards the west coast and the Pacific Northwest, we end up having a ridge of warm air develop over our region, and that shows up on the 7-day forecast. We talked about it earlier on when we were talking about the temperatures getting back to closer to around average for this time of year. Now you're seeing it in that 7-day forecast. Notice that Chesley was in this morning. He chose Thursday as the pick of the week. It is looking great, not just for Thursday though, but look at Tuesday and Wednesday. Still a lot of sunshine out there, 10s on the wazometer. Then we make our way into Friday, just that slight chance for rain. Most of us will miss out on the rainfall, so don't cancel any plans, but maybe have an idea on some ways that you can put a pause to any outdoor events or maybe bring them inside if you do encounter a brief shower. And similar conditions to Saturday, just a few isolated showers, but also a little bit more in the way of cloud cover there. And then by the time we head into Sunday, you see some drier conditions, still partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, and temperatures going to be rising into the mid 70s for highs. So for the most part, temperatures going to be around average to just below average as we make our way into the end of the weekend. But for next week, when we look at the 8 to 14 day outlook, soaking light temperatures will be around average, so upper 70s for highs and temperatures in the 50s for lows. That's where we should be. Soaking light, the 8 to 14 day outlook for the middle of the month of May is showing that we're going to be back to where we should be for the this time of the year. And then above average rainfall. So those who want a little bit more rainfall for their gardens, we talked a little bit about if you have sod down or maybe you've planted some grass seed, you may have to use the sprinkler more this month or this week. Next week, you may not have to use it as much with that above average rainfall being possible. Checking in on your weekend getaways. If you maybe have a big weekend trip planned for this weekend. It's looking like we are going to deal with some showers there in Gatlinburg on Friday as well as into Saturday. Remember, we're going to have some isolated showers here in Atlanta on Saturday. You can tell that a lot of the region is going to be dealing with that as well. But Savannah will be staying drier, and then they'll be staying drier for areas down towards the Emerald Coast of Florida, towards Destin. They also end up with some thunderstorm activity, though, down towards Destin on Sunday and Monday. Also some showers there in Savannah by the time we head into Monday. So it's looking like Friday, Saturday, Sunday looking like your best beach days if you plan on heading down there towards the coast. Your Peach State outlook showing that as we head throughout the next 3 days, not just are we going to be dry here in Atlanta, but much of the state staying dry with a lot of sunshine there. Nice to have some drier conditions after we had the wet conditions there on Sunday morning, but then you also see the temperatures are going to be starting to go up a little bit each day, just like what we're having here in Atlanta. Much of the rest of the state is going to see the temperatures start to climb a little bit over the next few days. And then your Georgia State Park forecast showing us that as we head throughout the day tomorrow, it's going to be a great day for any hikes. With all the rain that we had there on Sunday morning, a lot of the waterfalls are likely still going to be pretty full. Although springs still putting out water out towards Amicalola Falls. Cloudland Canyon has some great waterfalls. Tallulah Gorge, of course, is beautiful. And then also if you wanted to go check out some of those overlooks, maybe up towards Fort Mountain, maybe you want to head over towards Cloudland Canyon as well with some of those overlooks. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely stunning out there, including down towards Providence Canyon. So headed back up to the 7-day forecast. I hope that everybody can have a wonderful week. Don't forget that we love to do these updates every Monday and every Thursday. We like to do them at 2:30. That way everybody can stay updated on the forecast for the week ahead whenever we talk on Mondays. And then whenever we talk Thursdays, we try to get everyone planned for the weekend. And again, it is looking like we could have a few rain chances there this weekend. As we get closer on to the weekend, the rain chances may change a little bit. So we'll have that next update on Thursday. We'll talk a little bit more about that forecast and let you know if anything changes. But as far as this week is concerned, grab that favorite coworker of yours and go ahead and say, hey, you want to go out and maybe get lunch at our favorite patio restaurant here in the region, because it is going to be absolutely beautiful out there. So I hope everybody can have a wonderful week ahead of you. Again, we'll have our next update coming in on Thursday right here on 11 Alive. That way everybody can stay updated throughout the week ahead. Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb will be in every evening with updates to the forecast. Meteorologist Chesley McNeil will be on every morning, and we'll keep you updated online anytime in between. Have a wonderful week ahead of you, and we'll keep you updated again on everything right here at 11 Alive.